My friends, how many of you have been on a stage and completely lost all your material? Show of hands. Yeah, that's the story I want to tell. I was on a stage, 200 sets of eyeballs looking at me. I'm telling my recovery story. For those of you who don't know, I'm 39 years sober from alcoholism, and thanks. Yeah. But on this day, my whole life is vanished from my memory because I'm terrified. Except for one memory that came roaring back like a freight train through the night, and there was no way I was telling that. But I got nothing. And the moments are passing. And I remembered one of my mentors saying, "Ron, you are the kind of guy who's going to have to learn how to tell the truth about himself." So I took a deep breath. I went back a few years when I was a younger man filled with self-loathing. Alcoholism was ruining my life. I was in the bathroom, hot water was steaming the mirror as I cut myself with a razor blade. I knew then, like I know now, we don't talk about such things, way too problematic. That's just the way it is. Amazingly enough, my whole life story came back after I said that. And it went really well, all the way through the story. I was stunned when I came off the stage and a small group of people surrounded me. They wanted to talk about how they cut themselves, burned themselves, tortured themselves, tried to kill themselves. And on that day, I realized there is immense power to take a stage and talk about the hard stuff. That's what brought me into Toastmasters in the first place, to learn how to talk about the ugly. Now you're wondering what this has to do with you. Well, I'd like to beg your indulgence and have you look at each other in the eyes. Just gaze at each other for a few minutes. I'll be quiet. Look people in the eyes. The research says that if you just looked in three people's eyes, adding you as number 4, 1 or 2 of you are silently suffering from something because you can't, you don't, you won't talk about it. Could be substance abuse, suicidal ideation, domestic violence, unresolved trauma, grief, loss, you name it. And we don't, we can't, we won't talk about it, and it can be devastatingly problematic. Just like that. But the research also shows as soon as we begin to talk, it's like sunlight coming into shadows. The healing process begins just by talking. Fast forward a few years, I'm in Denver, Colorado, speaking at a mental health conference. I'm talking about self-harm. It's going really, really well, in large part because all of my shame and guilt is gone. I've been healed from the inside out by talking over and over and over again. It goes really well, and at the end, as usually happens, a small group of people want to talk about how they self-harm. So we're chatting. It's going well, but I notice a woman over here, and she is a mess. Her face is mottled, mascara running, dabbing at her nose with a Kleenex, and I know we got a conversation coming, so I regrettably excuse myself. I come over, and just as soon as I get within range, she throws her arms around my shoulders, kisses me on the cheek, and says, "Thank you, Ron, for saving my life." I move her away so I can look her in the eyes, find out her name is Renee. "Renee, tell me, what happened? Tell me your story. I so want to hear." "Oh, Ron, it wasn't tonight. It was more than 5 years ago in Kansas City when you told your story. I'd been cutting myself. I was drunk. I was high. And I wasn't sure I was going to make it. And then you talked. And I realized for the very first time I was not alone. And that maybe I could heal too." Been more than 5 years, Ron. I haven't cut in a very long time. And I'm clean and sober today. Thank you for saving my life. I would love to tell you this is the story of virtue, my virtue, that I'm some kind of a heroic figure. Nothing virtuous about substance abuse, mental health issues, nothing virtuous at all. It's awful, terrible, because we don't, we can't, we won't talk about it, and yes, it costs people their lives. Now, some of you are saying, Ron, what are you doing talking about such a dark subject? Guys, it's only dark because we are keeping it in the dark. When we begin to talk, the light floods in, the healing process begins. So I'd like you to, again, with this knowledge, look around at a few people around you. I'll be quiet, please. Look them in the eyes. The research says that in this room, right here, right now, and in rooms just like it everywhere, somewhere between 25 or 40% of the people are silently suffering from something because we can't, we won't talk about it. Here's the cool thing. Some of you are going to walk out of here with a whole lot more compassion and appreciation. Some of you are now realizing you need to find a therapist or a counselor. Because you're like not going to be able to talk about it in the Toastmasters, right? I get that. Some of you are thinking, I know someone who's suffering. I need to create the space for them to talk. And some of you are thinking, I got to tell my story because I'm one of those people. And it's all part of the magic. It's all part of letting the light into the darkness. And it begins the healing process. So I know, still in your mind, it's like, we can't talk about this stuff. Oh, yes, we can. And now we are talking. And it's your turn.